Alright, I have just beaten Sonic Dream Team, and let me just start off by saying that this game was amazing! Like, I knew this game was going to be good, but for like a mobile game, I thought it was really good. To the point where I think that they should definitely port this over to PC, maybe consoles even, but yeah, they definitely need to put this game on PC because I know that the mods with this game would go crazy. But let me not get off track, and let's get right into the review of Sonic Dream Team and find out if this game is better than Sonic Frontiers. And I'm gonna just say right now that in some ways, it kinda is, but we will get into that later. So now let me start off with the animation. And I'm sorry, but the animation in this game is really good. You don't get to see it a lot in this game. There's only like a couple of cutscenes where you get to see the animation shine. And then other times it's just like comic book style cutscenes a little bit. But when they're like actually animated with the 3D models, they look really good. The first cutscene with Sonic, I saw it like a day before the game came out online. And I was like, hold on, what the heck? Why is the animation so good? I think I compare that first cutscene to the first cutscene of Sonic Frontiers. They both just fell out the sky and they're on the ground, and then like a mysterious voice talks to them. And if you compare the cutscenes side to side, you can kind of see that, like, well, not kind of, you can definitely see that the animation in Dream Team is way better than the animation in Frontiers. Now, I'm not saying the animation in Frontiers is bad. I'm just saying that in this game, the idle animations, the running animations, the cutscene animations are all so good. I'm telling you, next Sonic game, we need this type of animation. Because if we had this type of animation, along with the graphics of Frontiers, or even better than that, then we would literally have a Sonic game that looks like a Pixar movie. And that sounds so awesome. Now, I know I started off with the animation side of the game, but I'm gonna go right into the story and the music, and I'm only putting these two in the same category because there's not too much to say about them, because I felt like the story wasn't anything too insane or anything to write home about, so I feel like there's not really anything to talk about there. And the same thing with the music. The music was alright, it did its job, but the songs they used in the game weren't ones that I really remembered. Like, if you asked me to hum one of the songs, I could probably only hum like the intro song, and that's it. The songs in the game weren't really that memorable. But I'm just glad that the songs in this game are better than most of the songs in Sonic Superstars.
That's okay. You can keep it.
Alright, now moving on to the characters in the game. And, you know, the characters that they chose in this game are obviously Sonic. They chose Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Rouge, and Cream to be the playable characters in this game. And I feel like those choices were pretty good for what the game was trying to do. I think the different character types really fit the game design really well, which we'll get into later. And I hope that down the line with this game, they add more characters. They probably won't add more character types, which is unfortunate, but there's not really any more character types they could add in this game. But I do hope that they add more characters such as, you know, Shadow, Silver, maybe even Blaze. You know, there's a lot of characters that they could add into this game, and it'd be really cool to see them in a 3D environment like this. Also, I gotta say that the models in this game are really good. Like, I definitely prefer the Sonic model in this game over the one in Frontiers. And honestly, I think that's mostly because of his longer quills, and the animation in this game helps the model stand out way more. Also, before I move on to the next part of the review, I do want to say that Rouge's voice was a little weird, but I think that's mostly because of the voice direction. So if the voice actress was given a better voice direction, then I feel like the voice would have been better. But for Cream, I see the vision. I see what they're going for with Cream's voice. And honestly, I think I just got to get used to it because we haven't heard Cream's voice in like, I think over 10 years. I think the last time we've heard Cream was like in Generations.
Thanks for saving me, Sonic. It was scary in the dark, but I tried to be brave. Oh, thank you, Miss R.E.M. And thank you too for all your hard work.
I think I just gotta get used to it since it sounds so different from the last time we've heard Cream. Alright, now onto the gameplay and controls. And I'm gonna be completely honest, the controls in this game were actually pretty good. I played this game on a mobile device, so I had to use the touch controls, but even then it still felt nice to play and control. But I do feel like if I had a controller to play this game with, it would have been 10 times better. On top of the controls, I feel like this game would have benefited way more if it had a drop dash and a spin dash. But it makes sense as to why they didn't add that, because it would have been way too many buttons. But it still would have been nice to see. Maybe if they port this game to PC or whatever, maybe they can add that, but we'll just have to see. Besides that, it felt really nice to control each character. With Tails and Cream's flight, it was a little weird how short of a time period you have to stay in the air, but when you run out of your flight meter, I like how you can slowly glide down so you can kind of still make it to where you want to go, which is really nice. Also with Knuckles and Rouge's glide, the turning while gliding is too stiff. I think it's way too stiff. You can barely turn and it just doesn't feel that good. Although, I think that this is something that could possibly be changed in the future, but we're gonna have to wait and see how they go about updating this game. I also feel like the gameplay loop of doing missions over and over again to collect these orbs to get to the next zone didn't really feel repetitive at all, mostly because of how fun the stages are and how good the level design is. Which actually brings us into our next segment, which is the level design. And let me just say that the level design in this game is fire. All the levels in this game are so fun and open, they just feel really great to run through. And the fact that there are multiple pathways that you can use different characters on adds to the level design as well. Not only that, but the aesthetics of these levels are really good. Mostly because of the fact that all these levels are bright, vibrant, colorful, creative, and because of the fact that these levels are completely new. These levels are kind of what I wish Cyberspace was in Sonic Frontiers, instead of them reusing level design from past Sonic games. Speaking of Frontiers, it is finally time to decide if this game is better than Sonic Frontiers. And like I said earlier, in some ways it kinda is. In terms of level design, this game definitely takes it by a long shot. And I'm only talking about the level design in Cyberspace compared to this game, because comparing the level design in this game to Sonic Frontiers' open world or open zone wouldn't really make that much sense. With that being said, the level themes in this game are way better than the ones in Sonic Frontiers' Cyberspace, which actually isn't that hard to do now thinking about it. On top of that, the animations in this game are way better than the animations in Sonic Frontiers. I mean, have you seen these cutscenes? And lastly, this game is more polished than Sonic Frontiers, which makes sense because this game is on a smaller scale compared to Sonic Frontiers, but overall it's still more polished. And yeah, those are the things that I think Sonic Dream Team does better than Sonic Frontiers, which does bring us to the end of my review. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I'm gonna end this video right here, and Sega, please get Sega Hard Like to work with Sonic Team, please.